Hi guys, this is Chef Dangoor with TigerChef. Today we're going to be making a classic marinara sauce. So everything you're going to need in your classic tomato sauce is right here. We have your tomatoes, onion, garlic, and a little bit of basil leaves. We're first going to start off with the tomatoes. We're just going to need to take off this little section right over here. That's where the vine connects to the tomato. And then we just slice them up into about 4 to 6 pieces each. And then we'll throw them into the pot. So I'm just going to cut off the part where it connects to the vine, just like that. And then I want to cut these into small pieces. Now, if your tomatoes are a little bit bigger, you want to cut them into smaller pieces. But I usually go into about 8 pieces each tomato. So that's 4 in one half, and that's 4 in the other. You're gonna wanna cook these out until they're completely like mushed. So the smaller it is, the faster it'll cook, but you don't wanna take up too much time cutting your tomatoes. Now that we have diced up all our tomatoes, we're gonna put it in a hot pan. I've already got this nice and heated. I'm gonna add just a touch of oil just to coat the bottom. That's all you need. And then I'm just gonna put in my tomatoes. This will go back on the heat for about an hour. Now, depending on how big your batch is, you want it to actually boil for an hour. Once you have your tomatoes in and they start to get mashed and then you see a boiling action, that's when you start your timer for about an hour. So depending on how big your batch is, it might take you a little bit longer to get these guys to boil. Immediately after you get your tomatoes in, you want to do your garlic. Now, the fast way to do this is just you're going to break it with the bottom of your knife. So you want a nice, strong, sturdy knife like the one that I have right over here. And then you're just gonna wanna rough chop it really fast too. Now, because this is gonna go in with the tomatoes while it's boiling down, it's just gonna kind of melt into that whole sauce. So that's pretty much, they could be this big if you like. Next, you wanna take half a white onion, and you're just gonna wanna do a quick slice. You want them nice and thin like this. Now this is ready to go in. So what we have over here, I put the basil leaves in the bottom of my strainer. Now, let's talk about the strainer and then let's talk about the basil leaves. As you can see, my strainer is not too tight. Depending on how thick or rustic you want your sauce, that's how thin or thick you should choose your strainer to be. And now let's talk about the basil. So I put the basil on the bottom and I'm gonna put the sauce right on top to strain it through. And the reason why I do it like this, it's just a perfect amount of heat to wake up the oils of the basil and allow that flavor to go into the sauce. I don't really want to have chunks of basil in there because basil, when it gets hot, it turns brown. We don't want any brown color in our tomato sauce. This is how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to move it like this. And you'll see, even though we blended it, what's going to stay on top is going to be the seeds, and it's going to be also the skins. Let me see if I can pull out a skin for you guys to see. But see, the skins will stay intact. That's why I was able to throw all those tomatoes in with the skin. Otherwise, if you're going to take all the skins off, it might take you an extra half an hour just to do all the skins itself. And our time is valuable, so this is a perfect way to strain it out. And this is the classic tomato sauce once we got it nice and strained. So I want you guys to see the consistency of this. So this is how a normal sauce will come and lay out. Now, if you want to make yours a little thicker, you put it back on the fire for a couple minutes. And just reduce it on a very, very low flame. But other than that, you see how it just sits up on itself whenever it's moved? That's what you're looking for. Also, at the beginning where we put a little bit of oil, you see a nice little sheen. But if you want a shinier shine on top of your sauce, just add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. It actually gives it a nice little kick to it too. Now, normally if you're gonna add the salt, add it in at the end. Tomatoes, sometimes they're very acidic, sometimes they're not. But that acid also kind of tastes like salt. So these are pretty acidic, so I'm not adding any salt, but you be the judge on that. And yeah, that's how you make a classic tomato sauce. So listen, this is Chef Dangoor with TigerChef. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more delicious videos like this. And for all your chef needs, come visit us, tigerchef.com. See you soon.